Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today I am channeling the amazing Stead, who is on Instagram as Art Journal Love, and using one of the pages that she did as inspiration. So Claire is amazing with rainbows. If you love rainbow colours, go have a look at Claire's Instagram feed because it's just rainbows galore and it's just delicious. And one of the pages that she did was this repeated masking using one of the Dina Wakley gentleman figures on her journal. So I decided I would have a go at doing it, and I am using this corrugated card cut out from Scrap FX. It's perfect size. I love the shape of it and it just works really, really well. I'm using my Dina Wakley paints to create a rainbow. I'm not necessarily cleaning my brush all that well as I go along and just using the mask. I'm using the same mask for each one. So I'm going through using, I think, ruby, tangelo, lemon, lime, and then I think I use ocean. Possibly, yes, yeah, ocean, and then lapis for my darker sort of indigo-y blue colour, and then blackberry possibly, or orchid, because I think my blackberry got lost. But you can sort of see this rainbow taking shape. I'm not taking too much time and care with how I'm painting over this. Quite often when I do masking, I actually use a sponge, so using a brush is a little bit different, but I wanted to have that sort of brush stroke top and bottom to the pieces. Yes, I did use orchid because I couldn't find my blackberry. I've since found it. It was buried at the bottom of somewhere. So I'm going in and painting that last one. It's got a little bit more on it, but that's okay. Orchid, that colour there, is actually quite deceiving because in the bottle it actually looks really pale, but when you put it out it's actually quite a strong purple colour. So don't be deceived by what you see in the bottle. It's most of the colours are really, really true when you look at the Dina Wakley colours, but that one gets me every time because I think I'm getting a paler colour, and when I actually pour it out it's like, oh no, this is actually a proper purple colour. So just to pull my figures out from the background, I am just going around with a really, really loose pen, really scratchy pen lines, and drawing out around them just to sort of bring those figures out to sing against those rainbow colours. And you can sort of see I did dry off my page, but drying it off for a little bit longer, I was dragging my paint pen through a few little puddles of paint, which is never really good for your paint pens. Just wipe it off with a wet wipe, but you know, if you had a dry page to begin with, that would be better. Because it's me and I love doing it, I've got my heart washi here and I'm giving all my little figures a heart. It's something I tend to do with a lot of my abstract figures. I sort of add in those heart shapes to it, which I really like doing. So one of the other things that Claire did was got her splatter on. So I'm just using some white acrylic ink to splatter some white across my page. If you don't have acrylic ink, you can do a watered down gesso or watered down white paint. Will do the same job. I just like the consistency of the ink to get that splatter. Then one of the things Claire did, she sort of had this banner going across the page that she did some journaling in, which I really like. So I chose to do white on this page again because I had a lot of white in the background. So I just painted a strip of gesso across the page to get that look. Now you'll find sometimes gesso, not all gessos are equal, and sometimes you need to do 2 coats of it to get it opaque enough. I wanted to have a really lovely white strip, so particularly over purples and so on, the pigment in them seems to be a little bit stronger, so sometimes you need an extra coat to help keep it all together. Once I've done that, I'm just using my black pen now to do some really scratchy, scribbly border lines on this to sort of tie it all together. And then I will write in my quote. But first I'm going to dry it because I am a terror for putting my hand in some wet paint. This is a little cutout that I had from Scrap FX, and it said listen more, speak less, which I really like, especially because there's so many people in the background. And I have this really cool rainbow washi, so I thought, well, I might as well go with the rainbow theme and put this in the background, because I thought if I just put it on as is, it would get lost a little bit. I could have just put it on with white in the background, but you know, why not have more rainbow when you can? So I'm just using a little bit of glue and sticking it on top. I also decided to actually think about it and seeing I was going sort of from red to purple, I might actually glue it on from red to purple to make it make more sense. So once it was all glued on, I was happy with it. I just trimmed it out. Washi tape is a really great way to mount sort of silhouettes or die cuts or things like this. If you need something behind it really easily, just stick it onto some cardboard and you're good to go. In Claire's original piece, she sort of had one of the shapes that she'd masked out the front. She'd actually turned it into a silhouette, painted it black. But I just really like that this corrugated guy with the pattern on it was standing out the front, so he's sort of like at the front of the crowd, listening to everyone who are speaking, because that happens a lot around here. Lots of people speak and not many people listen, or maybe it's just a teacher thing. We're hoping people listen a bit more. So while I was doing this, the song True Colours is sort of going through my head, and I found this quote, "And never be afraid to show your true colours," which I really loved. To finish it off, I put in a height on my man as well, and I put a shadow around him. So I just used my Stabilo oil pencil to add a little shadow, so he sort of stood out from the pack. It helps push him out from beforehand, and then sort of I extended the shadow out a little bit using my Stabilo oil pencil. So because the craft paper is quite absorbent, you do have to work quite quickly if you're doing some water on your Stabilo oil pencil, because it does soak in. So just be aware you may get a big black blob, so have a bit of a practice before you do that. But it kind of worked out too well, and more water, it'll eventually work itself out. So thank you so much to Claire for her inspiration. I really loved doing this page. Check out her links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.